Yay. Yeah, I did it in time. Okay. Did think it was gonna make what's that noise? What alert just went off? Shit. I don't know what alert just went off. All right. All right. So I can't find my phone. So if that alert was you texting me, Jen, and you happen to be listening to the stream, I don't have my phone on me. I can't find it wherever. So reach out, I guess on Telegram or but yeah, do Telegram. Do Telegram. Okay. Hi everyone. Hey Sally. Hi Heather. Yeah, I honestly I planned on streaming earlier today. I really did, but just it was one thing after another today, and I couldn't do it. I had way too much going on today. And then I was like, fuck, it's too late. I'm not gonna stream now. But then I'm like, I'm off anyway. And we had a house full of animals here for a little bit. I thought I was gonna be with them longer than I was, but now I'm just here getting some work done for my upcoming trip. So I figured, well, why not? Why not stream? It's while it's been, and I want to thank everyone too, by the way, for all of your help and support regarding this upcoming trip. And even if whether you donated or not, or just even showing up and watching the channel, why did my light go off? Just showing up, watching the channel, even if you're hate watching me, like you may not mean to, but you're still giving me support. But seriously though, I want to just thank everyone for your support, even if it's just kind words, anything, like, just it's really kind of helped sustain me for the most part. So thank you. I finished today with making all of my reservations and arrangements and stuff and such. So it's a definite. I'm definitely going back. Yeah. Anyway, on to bigger and brighter and nicer things. Katie tried. I did not plan that. It just worked out that way. So, if you've been watching any of my streams, the recent streams I've done anyways, we've been going back in time a little bit too, because I feel like this has been my way really of I don't want to say making amends so much, but like correcting a wrong. And I was talking with someone in my comment section today, and it just dawned on me that like if I did these streams like 3+ years ago, like the whole community would have came for my head, and probably rightfully so. Just no one was at that point. I know I wasn't anyways. I believed everything she said regarding what she said in her report regarding what happened that night. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't anyone really? But these past 3 years, I think, have taught this entire community that nah, probably you can't believe her on this, at least not factually so anyway. Like, and it wasn't anything like and when I say the community, I don't mean everyone in the community. I mean the majority of it, though, because no one's come for my head over this. And it's been a lot of the opposite, but more importantly, just no one's come for my head. So, I mean, even people who are just like, yeah, I'm not sure, you should be streaming about this stuff. I mean, I agree with you, but I'm not sure you should be streaming about it. Like, that's the most I'll get, or I've gotten rather. And it's just, people didn't like have this huge switch because of anything I've said or done, or because of anything anyone else has said and done other than Katie herself. And I just, in the comment section today, that hit me. I found it amazing. Like, the majority of this drama women-filled community went from, rightfully so, coming from my head possibly 3 years ago had I done these streams, to now hanging out in the chat and like, sporting it. Katie did that. That's crazy. It's really crazy. Hi, Renal. Oh, thank you so much for your kind message too, by the way, Renal. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Oh man. So okay, as I was saying, sorry. So if you've been, watching my recent streams, I've been kind of just righting a wrong, I guess, going back in time and just covering the things that she put out there and that September 2020 month there regarding this. Now, as a lot of you know, originally my whole stance on it was I didn't believe the things I believed everything she said back in 2007, but what she was saying in 2013, like regarding the police officer, I didn't buy, and I even went so far as to prove that she was kind of lying, basically prove that she was kind of lying, or mostly, basically prove that she was in fact fucking lying. But I stopped short from disbelieving her on anything else. And I've been very vocal about this for this entire time. Anytime it's been brought up or asked or discussed, I had no problem saying as such. But I'd say at least this past 6 months, maybe a little more, I started looking at just her and her behavior, like towards other people and stuff. Like, if she can act any way she wants, I'm not hating on her. I'm not throwing any shade at her. I'm really not. I don't care. But I just felt like I needed to just pull my support really and just kind of point out all the things that I now take issue with. You can agree, you can disagree, you can hate that I'm doing this, you can like it, you can whatever. I get it. But I just didn't want to have my support sitting out there when I wasn't offering the support anymore. So anyway, that's where I'm at. And now I've already gone over the report itself and these 2 streams that she had done. Now, the 2 streams I had already gone over were titled, oh shit. I'm gonna exit out of that. Oh, they're there. We're titled, "Thank you for helping me use my voice." What actually the first one was the night that changed my life forever. No one believed me. That's the first stream she did, but it's actually the second stream I covered. But the first stream I covered and the second stream she did was titled, "Thank you for helping me use my voice." This tonight is the third stream she did, titled "Weeks Like This." There's actually 4 streams. There's another one that she did called "Feeling All Kinds of Emotion." I don't know if I'm going to go over that one. We'll see. I don't think that there's really a whole lot in that one, but this one was interesting. So let me pull that up. But I uploaded a couple of videos to featuring
very much this
started
week,
playing
and I was like,
before I was ready. Okay. So yeah, there's a couple uploads there regarding nonsense because I shared a few clips of allegedly with Brittany J's stream with me, and I it's fucking amazing how someone can just sit there and say, "I never blamed Dre for harming her husband," with a straight fucking face like that, knowing damn well that they not only did blame her, but they were like the first fucking person to do so in this whole community here. It's just the audacity to lie to people like that. That astounds me. It really does. I mean, I don't understand it. I like to think I get a pretty good handle on most humans or most shit that humans do, but some things they baffle me. And that's something that baffles me. Like, you're caught. Like, there's receipts. Like, why are you fucking insulting everyone like this? Like, don't you even respect yourself enough to at least show a little bit of humility here? Like, fuck. But I guess everyone wants to be more like Katie Troy, maybe. All right, I'm playing this now.
So many different messages from you, like, "I'm really missed that you're not on the channel," and it's just been so busy, and it's been one of those weeks where it's like, as soon as I'm done.
So a little bit more context. Like I said, she did the first stream where she told her story. Then she did the following streams thanking people for listening to her tell her story. And that's the stream where she really kind of dragged the police officer, I think. And then this stream, I think, was the following day, because those 2 streams were on the same day, the first 2, because, well, I think they were anyways. Pretty sure they were. She's wearing the same shit. This, I think, was like the very next morning, possibly. Like, I don't know. Like, she really made a lot of streams about this in a row, it seems. But Yeah, this is definitely like the next day.
On my
And it's on her Katie Joy Vlogs channel or whatever that still exists but has no content anymore.
main channel, it's been hard to even process what I'm going through and how I'm feeling about things because there's been so many really, it's just been one of those weeks where it's just like a lot of heavy topics. I spent a lot of time in quarantine doing a lot of like reality TV recaps because it was just so much easier than always being in the middle of drama, or not even drama, just really heavy stories, you know? And I realized that I hadn't spent a lot of time doing the more hard hitting stuff. And I've been trying to balance that back in.
Oh yeah.
But by doing that, I've forgotten.
Sorry, I'm looking at the chat here. And now says nonsense is pissing more people off. Oh yeah. And this is the thing. She's doing the same fucking shit. Like she's let's just fucking be frank here. Let's be honest, okay? She's not some victims advocate. She's not on YouTube to try and protect victims from these YouTubers who talk about these crime stories or whatever. She's here for self-satisfaction and hating on people. And she feels that she could safely hate on people that she sees and deems do these horrific, unforgivable things to these, protected persons or whatever, like she feels righteous in doing that and prideful even. And really, there's no bigger fuck up a human can have than like just too much pride. Like, and that's what she's doing. She's so prideful of this that she can't even see the harm that she's committing. She can't even grasp that she's even committing this harm to these people that she claims that she's trying to protect. It's ridiculous. But yeah, and then on top of that, and she wants to pick and choose what channels on YouTube can say. And the problem with that, though, is that becomes what she wants to do or people like her want to do on YouTube. And once they get a channel removed, it's no longer like, okay, now we can relax. It's, okay, who's next? And sooner or later, it's going to come down to your channel, whoever you are. This is a general you. It doesn't matter. Because if you participate in this and you are subscribing to it, you're co-signing it, which means you are allowing it to exist and therefore come back at you. And it will come back at you. It will, because no one here on YouTube is really any different than one another. We're all doing, some possibly fucked up things at times and not so much, and it's not a matter of if like Becky and them come for you. It's a matter of when, because they're never satisfied unless they're coming after someone. And just process of elimination, you will end up on that pulpit next, whatever. So, hi, Mousy Files. Okay.
How much of an emotional toll that can take on me as I start to end up in rabbit holes. So I just want to let you guys know that I am still here, and I don't mean to.
You peeked your head in a rabbit hole. What do you think would be scarier to see, Katie Joy or an actual rabbit? I don't like rabbits, so that's why I say that. But I'm not sure which would win.
To not be here, and I don't mean to not have this place for you to be. I don't mean for you not to have a space here. Honestly, I don't even really know what I'm doing. I just wanted to check in and let you guys know that I'm here. I'm good. It's been a wild few days. Last night's video I did on my channel about the Circle of Hope, the school in Missouri, has been like really heavy on me because of what the kids there are experiencing. And thankfully, all of the kids have now been removed. But the fact of the matter is there's so many of these schools out there that are doing the exact same thing. And my heart is just like, cannot compute that there are children in these facilities right now experiencing what the kids that left these places or were removed from this place could still be are still experiencing.
what is she saying? So the house place that she's talking about, I can't pronounce Hepzibah House or whatever that she's talking about. Yeah, the kids that were absolutely being victimized by the people running the place. Absolutely, no question about that. But what she just said right there, though, is my heart can't compute or whatever, that there are children, in other schools going through the same exact things that these children went through. So that's like saying my heart can't compute or whatever. I can't, deal with the fact that I can't believe the fact that there are kids being victimized somewhere in the world right now, just like these other kids were victimized. I mean, like, I don't know. As sad as it is, it's kind of a given but to say it like that, just, I don't know. It comes off as opportunistic. It really does.
And it makes me feel sick, like physically. And then having spent yesterday was a little bit different on my channel because I did a longer video about the Duggars, which was more investigative, looking at the history and everything. And it's just been very like, I can't even explain it. Like, you just end up in a rabbit hole, and then you realize that you are also dealing with your own stuff, and you also have your own feelings about things and your own motivations for doing things, and it's a lot. So I just want you guys to know that I haven't left this channel. It's just been more of like I can't even process sometimes what I'm sharing with you guys. I don't know if the chat's not open. I don't see anyone chatting. This is actually kind of bizarre. Is the chat even open? Is this even live streaming? I hope so.
I think I didn't cover the stream, right? No, I didn't. I was watching it the other day, and Jen was talking to me about it because I'm listening to this. I'm like, I feel like I just played this, but I did, but not for stream. Hi, Linda.
Oh, the chat. That's weird. See, I could not even see you guys. Let me reopen this. I didn't even see the chat. That's bizarre. Okay. Let me get back in here.
Okay, so
I couldn't see the chat working. I couldn't see you guys. I don't know why there you are.
I'm just trying to get the dates here right. So weeks like this, I wrote down that it was uploaded on September 5th, or streamed rather on September 5th. What about the other ones though? Let's see, this one was, I don't have a date on this one. Why would I not put a date on it? I must have gotten the dates messed up because then I got, thank you for helping me use my voice on September 7th. But weeks like this was after that, I believed. Right? I don't know. Yeah, no, I was.
Hi. I am an empath. Yes. So when I cover stories, a lot of times, because I'm so like empathetic to these people, I end up just sort of like, it ends up like to a point of almost like swallowing me. But I have shared her. So if you haven't seen last night's video, I think you should. It's important. It's about Circle of Hope in Missouri and how Amanda wants to stop her father from hurting children. And it's also to help bring to light a lot of the things that are going on in that world and how kids are being hurt.
I'm gonna skip through this.
She wants to get her father.
The first like 15-20 minutes, that's all she talks about. So I'm gonna skip over that. I don't really, I mean, I don't want to hear it right now. I just don't.
That's kind of where I've been today. Because everyone's like been like, why are you sharing all this stuff? Like, why are you doing all these things? And it's like, because I feel like, and someone asked me, this was a totally random, but somebody said, like, why do you always have your neck like this? Because I incidentally always go like this when I look at my camera. And it's not because of my thyroid or like someone literally thought I have a thyroid problem, but I don't. It's because I honestly like will for whatever reason, automatically like turn my head. I don't know why I do that. So I've been trying to practice actually just sitting, staring at the camera without turning my head, without making it look like my neck is sticking out or, you know, I have a goiter. That's what people are concerned about, right? Disassociating isn't healthy, but it can be, you know, it definitely can help you get through the survival. I just remember in my very early days, like I'll never forget the first week after it happened. And I remember
my
like
mom.
I didn't
Hi,
even feel
OAH.
connected to my body. It felt like I was living outside of myself. It felt like everything that was happening to me wasn't me and it was happening to somebody else. And I remember like the police were in my house and I was like, it wasn't me. It was somebody else. I was at the hospital having the kit done and it wasn't me. It was somebody else. And I was sitting in an interrogation room. Yeah, I was interrogated. Imagine you're the one who has been victimized and you're interrogated and not believed. That happened. That was the last time I spoke to police. They didn't move forward and they never called me back. I never got any sort of idea about what happened to my kit. I don't know what they found. I've never received any of my belongings that they took as a part of the investigation. My perpetrator was never held accountable. It's, you know, there's days where I forget that like my belongings are still sitting in a police station. My comforter, my clothing, my kit with my DNA is still sitting somewhere and I have no idea what they found and no idea what could have been in my system and no clue what they did with it. All I know is they never prosecuted, they never contacted me. Like imagine doing all of the things they tell you to do and then they never call you back. And then you have such bad PTSD from the interrogation that you went through with the cops that you're too scared to actually call the detective to even ask them what's happening. That's what happened. I got
See, I have a theory. For whatever reason, I mean, maybe at the time she believed that this is what happened. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even want to speculate on that. Just, but I think she knew that as she was telling the story that she wasn't entirely truthful about things. You know, if not at all truthful about things. But like everyone that she spoke to up until the detective, they were in a position to believe her, her friends, her family, the hospital staff, even the officer who took the initial report. Like his job is to basically take in her information, you know, take in what she has to say. And then it's like she was fine with all of that, but the first person that she encountered who was going to look at this objectively and who was entrusted to look at this objectively, she crumbled. And that's why she's been trying to drag this man ever since, because she knows that she showed her hand. I think, you know, she knows that she exposed herself. She knows that the one person who is in a position to determine whether or not she's full of shit very likely determined that she was full of shit, in my opinion.
so scared and I was so traumatized by what happened in that room with that detective that I never called back because I was petrified of being like accused of lying again. How do I join? Sorry, not to dive with YouTube. I love
that always got me too. Like she was petrified to ever talk to him, to be alone with him again, because she didn't want to be accused of lying again. Not because he berated her for 3 hours and brought her, you know, to the point of tears, like she says. Not because he said that you're a slut or whatever, or you're a jealous ex-girlfriend or some shit. No. Because he was going to accuse her of lying, or he was going to not believe her, basically, you know, and that's why she never followed up with anything, because she didn't want to face that person who was entrusted to kind of suss out liars was doing just that, in my opinion.
Want to be a member. You just don't expect to be traumatized by the people that are supposed to help you, and you have no memory, like none. My problem was I had no memory. He drugged me, and so I didn't know what happened. And he had a story, and I learned about what happened to me in the interrogation. And I'm like, it doesn't concern you as a cop that you're telling me something that I don't know. That doesn't worry you. It doesn't worry you that he's claimed that this happened 3 times and I have no memory. I only remember waking up once and telling.
In some recollections, though, it was 4 times. So I don't know.
Him no. But you're telling me he admitted that he did this 3 times And because I have no memory and he does, you believe him? Doesn't that concern you? It didn't. It didn't concern him. It didn't worry him. He came from a good family, you guys. He told the cops that I was mad that he didn't leave his phone number. That's not how I felt when I woke up that morning. I felt when I woke up that morning that something had happened to me and I didn't know what. And the last thing I knew or even cared to think about was the fact that he didn't leave his phone number. I didn't even look for that. All I knew is that something was drastically wrong with me. I could not walk
And see that right there too. That's another thing that always kind of, even 3 years ago, I just, it stood out to me. Like she says in the report, when she came downstairs, in 2007, this is what she's saying to the initial officer. She says that, well, I came downstairs and I just thought it was weird. Like I thought maybe he would have left it, his information or a note or something. I think it was a note, like she said. No one asked her about it. No one prompted her to discuss it. She came right out and said she came downstairs and basically looked around for a note. And now here she is in 2020 saying, I didn't look for a note. I didn't ask about a note. I didn't care about a note. I didn't want to talk to him. Like, you can do things that other people might think are weird or odd, in a traumatic situation or as a result of a traumatic situation, and still it have happened. But it's like when you start just lying and then telling lies to cover up lies, it's like, no one's going to believe it.
I felt like throwing up. It's ridiculous.
Why am I buffering?
It's funny because in 2017, I named him publicly. And I did this when the whole Me Too thing happened. I had always protected his identity because I was afraid of his family, because his family owns.
That's bullshit right there. Wait a minute. Shit, I don't know when this was. Oh no, wait. Okay, I would have taken the screenshot in 2020. So this was 2018. When was this? Oh shit! What did I just do? Oh no. Okay, I'm okay. Okay, this is 2017. 2017, she wrote a blog post on her website, withoutacrystalball.com. And it was in the comment section for this blog post that she named him. She didn't name him in the blog post, but in the comment section she did. Where is it? Yeah, she named him. One comment she did. So it was 2017. She was naming him ever since. And she said also that she named him on Facebook. I never saw that, so I don't know.
Funeral homes and restaurants, and everyone knows his family in the Twin Cities, because if you are going to a funeral or you go to certain restaurants, including fine dining steakhouses, his family is connected to them. And I said his name, and it was weird because I got this message in my DMs, and they said, "Oh, are you talking about Nick?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "I knew it." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they were like, "I'm friends with their family." And I said, "Okay." And they were like, "His grandfather would be rolling in his grave right now." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they said, "He's always been the problem child. He's always been the one that's never been held accountable for what he does. And he is always bailed out by his family." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I believe that 100%. And they said, "I don't think you're the only one he's done this to." And I was like, "Yeah, I believe that 100%. And she said, "I just don't have proof." And I was like, "Yeah, me either."
Another thing I want to point out real quick while I have it up, because I was looking for something to verify what she was saying there. This was probably a post that she put up on her Facebook page. And this is the comment section. And here someone says, because she said, it happened in 2007. And Laura here says, But in 2007, you were 28 turning 29. Is it the age you are getting wrong or the year? Age. I was 28. I apologize for the year. Why would you apologize? What do you mean? Why are you saying, I'm so sorry? I apologize for my error. First of all, I don't know. I feel like people, especially when it happens as an adult like that, you kind of remember what age you were. You know, maybe if you're an adult trying to recall shit as a kid or something, you get it the year wrong or something. But yeah, I mean, no, I don't see how you get the year wrong on this, or what the age wrong rather. But why would you apologize though? Like, who did you hurt with that? I mean, I don't know. It's just that was weird. Anyway.
But that's like, yeah, they own like these funeral homes, and they own a restaurant called Kozlak's and Jack's. And Jack's is like a really expensive steakhouse in Minneapolis. It's like a really old steakhouse. It's really expensive. They also own limousines because of their funeral business. They have a lot of money. He was kicked out. That was the one thing she told me. It was like, he was always, you are going to a funeral or you go to certain restaurants, including fine dining steakhouses, his family is connected to them. And I said his name, and it was weird because I got this message in my DMs, and they said, "Oh, are you talking about Nick?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "I knew it." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they were like, "I'm friends with their family." And I said, "Okay." And they were like, "His grandfather would be rolling in his grave right now." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they said, "He's always been the problem child. He's always been the one that's never been held accountable for what he does. And he is always bailed out by his family." And I'm like, okay, yeah, I believe that 100%. And they said, "I don't think you're the only one he's done this to." And I was like, yeah, I believe that 100%. And she said, "I just don't have proof."
So that's what her recollection of this DM conversation or whatever. But right around the same time she did this video, when she posted on her Facebook page, was the recollection. She says, let's just say people connected to the family, not in the family friends, contacted me 3 years ago and said Nick is and always has been a problem and embarrassment to the family, along with the fact that they believe that he did this. Why would you not include in there and they believe that he did this to other people, or he's always been entitled, or the problem child, always been bailed out? Like, I don't know. It just seems like you made the post and now you're building on that post to say what you're saying now, in my opinion.
And I was like, yeah, me either. But that's like, yeah, they own like these funeral homes, and they own a restaurant called Kozlak's and Jack's. And Jack's is like a really expensive steakhouse in Minneapolis. It's like a really old steakhouse. It's really expensive. They also own limousines because of their funeral business. They have a lot of money. He was kicked out. That was the one thing she told me. It was like, he was kicked out of his one school, and he ended up in the school that I graduated high school from, because he went to a Catholic high school.
Wait, what?
Jack's is like a really expensive steakhouse in Minneapolis. It's like a really old steakhouse. It's really expensive. They also own limousines because of their funeral business. They have a lot of money. He was kicked out. That was the one thing she told me. It was like, he was kicked out of his one school, and he ended up in the school that I graduated high school from, because he went to a Catholic high school.
Why would this person in her DMs need to tell her that? She knew that in high school, because he was her Spanish partner after he got kicked out of that private school and was sent to then public school. She knew that. Why would she have to say that's the one thing she told me, is that he got kicked out of that school? Like she had no clue about that. This was some new information that this person was imparting to her.
And he came back to our public school because he went to like grade school with us and he went to middle school with us. And then his family, like he was having problems. He was acting out. And he then got kicked out of the very prestigious high school, Totino Grace, and then came back to our public high school. And when he was back in our public high school, he literally showed up high or drunk every single day. And he was my Spanish partner. So when I ran into him years later, why would I be scared of my Spanish partner who I went to his prom party at? You know, why would I fear him? I did homework with him. How did you let it go and never follow up? Did you listen?
Yes, right here.
I said I was scared and traumatized. Why would I continue to follow up on something when I'm diagnosed with severe PTSD and can barely function? And when I went for help, they told me I was a liar. Like, I can't believe that that question doesn't even make sense.
See, that I don't know. That's one thing that always kind of struck me too, because I feel like anyone in that position, anyone in that situation who's gone through something like that, though they're not right to do this, the person, the victim, like always, like it will always have this sense of self-blame, you know, will have a tendency to blame themselves, to feel guilt or whatever, like they did something wrong. They didn't, and they shouldn't feel that way, but it doesn't change the fact that they do feel that way. So for her to just be like, what do you mean? What don't you get here? Like, I was the one traumatized. I did it. How could you expect me to follow up? You know, like, who doesn't second guess themselves after an event like that and second guess every decision that they made or choice they made, even, you know, for at least to some degree? She doesn't second guess anything. I mean, I've never seen such a confident victim before, I guess, you know, and don't get me wrong, I think more victims should feel like that, you know, because they should, but it's not, just humans don't really operate like that, I don't think.
To me, and I'm sorry, I already explained why I did not follow up. I didn't want to deal with it. I was scared. I had no one. I was single. I was living by myself in a house by myself. I was scared to go to work. I was scared to be around anyone. And I was scared that he was going to show up again. And I was scared because of the money that he had, that I would never be believed. And I didn't do anything. They told me they were going to call me. They told me that they were going to take care of it. Why didn't they follow up with me as a better question? Why didn't the cops do their job and contact me again? Why didn't they contact me when the kit came in? Why didn't they contact me and follow up? Why didn't they ever contact me? Why is it my...
I think she does have a point there. I do think she should have been contacted and told that the case was basically being closed and no further action was going to come of it. Now, maybe they did, and she's just not being honest about that or truthful or not recalling it. I don't know. But if it's true that no one contacted her, I do think someone should have contacted her.
My responsibility when I'm told we will contact you for me to contact you. When I am paying for your salary as a taxpayer and you have a taxpayer held position.
See, I think, and my thinking is that if you're feeling like you're afraid to be around anyone and you're afraid to be anywhere, then contacting them to try to see where things are at might possibly give you some sense of relief about things. So I think that reason alone, I mean, I think it's kind of telling that her main concern was that she didn't want to be in the presence of people who disbelieved her. Like, that was her biggest fear. Nothing else was bothering her because her actions avoided that like the plague. My opinion.
It doesn't, being interrogated makes it worse. You just want it to go away. Correct. Victim shouldn't be interrogated. Why was I interrogated? Why was I placed in a room and berated? and told, I don't think you're telling the truth. And then when I finally break down and cry and I tell him, I'm not.
It's not that she was interrogated, but the whole situation, the whole investigation, the whole conclusion exists and will exist because of what the story she's telling, because of the report she's making. So anything and everything that comes from that is going to be as a result of that. So it's their job to make sure that any actions they make or any consequences that might befall someone are done with some sort of, I don't know, like validity maybe. And they have no reason to suspect her of lying, but they want to just push her and make sure that she's at least being like believable, truthful.
Not lying. You're not getting this right. This isn't true. And he finally goes, okay, you're right. But it's going to take a long time.
See, because I don't know, I'm kind of of the belief that everyone just flat out believed her across the board right from the get-go and didn't doubt her, didn't question her, and just fell over backwards, to accommodate her. She would have pushed really hard for the investigation to come, or for something to come of it. In my opinion, I think it's the fact that she knew nothing was going to come of it, and the fact that no one was, or that the people who needed to believe her were not really believing her. I think that's kind of why she let it go.
And I'll contact you and I'll let you know, but just know it's not going to happen soon. Would you want to contact a detective that dismissed you and made you feel like what you went through?
No, I want to contact their superior. That's what I would want to do.
Was your fault? I haven't let it go. I'm still sitting here 13 years later talking about it.
But you can't.
I went through therapy. I focused on my mental health. I went to therapy weekly. I did a lot of therapy, sometimes twice a week. It took a long time. And even today, they're admitting that cops need better training. They've admitted, even in the Twin Cities, because there's such a systemic problem with how victims of these crimes are treated. Because if you think about it, if you were robbed,
Oh, here we go.
would you go into an interrogation and the cop go, are you sure you were robbed? Are you sure? Are you sure they took that? Aren't you just making that up? Aren't you just lying? You're lying. You weren't robbed because you were drunk. You weren't robbed because you were wearing a dress. You weren't robbed because he came from a good family. You weren't robbed because he went to Minneapolis and he went to McDonald's and then he went to Cub and he had a receipt. You weren't robbed. No, you would never treat any other victim like that. Period. It didn't put me in a rut for life because I went to therapy, Jen. So thank you for
but we have no recollection of the memory or of the robbery. And the person you are accusing of robbing you says that, no, she gave me this. And they have this whole timeline to present. And all you can say is, I don't remember. And I think it's because he took my memory away. I mean, they're not going to prosecute someone for robbery on that. I don't think, right? I mean, that'd be kind of crazy, but.
clarifying. And I'm sorry if I got short. It's not that I'm short. It's more just like, I feel like sometimes these questions feel like victim blaming and that bothers me. So thank you for clarifying that. But I had to move forward. I knew they weren't going to help me. So I did. And I went through therapy and I found out about boundaries and I learned about boundaries and I learned about being a better human and I got on medications and I took care of myself. And then I started writing and advocating and that's where I'm at today.
That is, she did all that until after she had her son, I think, or was it before she had her son? And the 2 times she was almost an alcoholic or an addict or whatever. And then she went to therapy, got on the right medication, and got herself straightened out until some shit with the Toddy Westbrook trial until she again went to therapy, got on the right medication. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I have no doubt that sometimes that's how it goes, you know, because your body changes or maybe just there are changes. I get it. So medications have to change and therapy needs to be different or change or be upped or whatever. I get that. It just seems like she's like, and that was that, when that's not that.
So, yeah. I don't want to be stuck in a cycle of being the victim, although I am. I don't think there's any harm in saying you're a victim. I think it's bullshit that you have to say you're a survivor because you can be a fucking victim. You can be a victim and you can still survive. And victim mentality is bullshit. It's okay to cry. There's not a timeline that you have to feel better. It never is something you get over. You just have to move through it. And some days are worse than others. And some years you don't even think about it. And then you have a day like today where it hits you in the face. And that's where I am.
And you handle that by going on a live stream and telling thousands of people all about it and laughing on it. Most people, when they get hit in the face like that, they go out. I'm sorry, they do. They get drunk. They maybe just do something else reckless or stupid or whatever. They do something too numb to disassociate, to be numb. I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, they need to be appointed an advocate for sure. I agree with you. Thousands kits in the storage, never to be tested. Exactly. Like, there's so many people that feel like I do, and there's so many people that feel helpless and powerless like me. And so I think part of my motivation in doing what I do is that I want my power back. I want my power back. I want other people to have their power back. I want abusers to be exposed. I want people who are hurting other people to be exposed. And I want people that are being hurt by other people to know that my community loves them.
And I who doesn't support that, of course. But the problem is, though, is when you have YouTubers doing the exposing, you're going to get a lot of people exposed who don't really deserve to be exposed because they're not doing the things that they're being accused of. Because as a YouTuber, you're not an investigator. You know, you're not. That's the problem I have with shit like this, is because you will have people. It's human nature. They're going to run with their emotions first and foremost. You know, and I get it. I understand. I do it too, you know, which is why sometimes you just have to realize that you're the probably last person who should be doing these things, like exposing, if you're running with your emotion.
My community supports them, and that my community will rally for them. And sometimes that responsibility, as this platform has grown, is a heavy weight. Sometimes it's heavy because you want to help people, and then people say that you're profiting off of trauma. And then it's like, well, what do you think that I did for years? Did you know for 5 years I did this for free? I made no money. You can look at my taxes. I was never about money for me. And now that I am making money, the biggest thing that I've been doing is saving it so that I can give it back and help other people. Heavy weight.
Right.
Sometimes it's responsibility, as this platform has grown, is a heavy weight. Sometimes it's heavy because you want to help people, and then people say that you're doing.
I see this smile she gave there. I think it is heavyweight. She does believe it's a heavyweight, but not in a sense of responsibility, but in a weapon, I think.
You're profiting off of trauma. And then it's like, well, what do you think that I did for years? Did you know for 5 years I did this for free? I made no money. You can look at my taxes. I was never about money for me. And now that I am making money, the biggest thing that I've been doing is saving.
Yeah. She talked about her son at first and the medical issues and what it was like to be living with that. That's when she didn't make money. It wasn't until she moved over to reality TV and then, you know, all of these other drama filled whatever storylines and shit of reality TV that she started making money. So I mean, she did it all for free for for years. So she deserves to tell these stories to make money now. And don't get me wrong, hey, if you're on YouTube and you're putting the work and effort into your content and you are able to make money, go for it. Absolutely. I don't get me wrong there. But don't sit there and act like I don't know, don't act like you're not capable or susceptible to exploitation of things because it makes you money.
Saving it so that I can give it back and help other people and also help my family who has struggled immensely because of my son's physical disabilities and his,
What is it buffering?
everything that he's gone through medically. I want them to fry in a pan of. The Minneapolis police recently lost hundreds of kits that were evidence. I don't believe for 1 minute they were lost. Yeah, I don't either. They recently did an article last year about how many kits still hadn't been that have been sitting there for years that had never been reviewed. It's ridiculous.
It's like the most professional reporter word I've ever heard.
But the really I don't know. The only reason I can think that anyone would get mad about that is that either they want that money or they want their content for free. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yesterday, I donated $500 to Amanda to her GoFundMe to help. So I hope that will help them. And if you haven't donated to her GoFundMe, consider helping Amanda so that she can get justice and help victims of her father. I think she feels a great responsibility to help the people that her father hurt. And I think it's admirable that she wants to help those women. I've also been doing giveaways, which has been feeling really good to help other people that are struggling. I feel like I get so many messages every day of people that need money or lost their jobs or can't meet their bills. And I want to help everyone. And I can't. I'd be broke. So offering the giveaways has been another way to feel like I can give back. So we'll just continue to find ways to help people as much as we can. And then also help my family.
But there, damn it.
If you charge people to share their story, that would be an issue. People make money off trauma everywhere. Books, movies, Oprah, social workers, psychologists. Awareness is necessary. Correct.
Well, I don't know.
News agencies.
I don't necessarily agree with that. Like, sure, social workers and shit make money and shit as their profession, but they don't. It's not like the more they talk about things, the more money they're going to get, or they're paid a flat fee for just talking with people. It doesn't matter what they say or how often they say things or whatever, so it's not the same thing. And I mean, and she's got a point though. People are going to make money talking about these things. People are going to tune in and listen to things that are more shocking and more like, holy shit, more unbelievable. She's absolutely right. And I don't fault her for going with that. I really don't, but she fucking goes too far. She just does.
There's this secret that they tell you when you do writing.
Okay. This right here. She's going to say, if it bleeds, it leads. Really? It's this secret thing that they tell you when you do writing. When you do writing too, mind you. Okay. This is what people tell her when she does writing. If it bleeds, it leads. That's every news fucking segment on TV and anywhere. This is how many movies have had this said in it? What fucking movie was that? Was it Newsroom? No, wait, Newsroom was a show. Maybe it was that. I don't know. But this is an old ass saying. I remember hearing that shit when I was a fucking teenager. What is she talking about? This little secret they tell you when you do writing. I gotta hear this shit.
An editor said to me,
her editor.
It leads. Meaning.
Yeah, explain that because we don't
understand. Charge people to share their story, that would be an issue. People make money off trauma everywhere. Books, movies, Oprah, social workers, psychologists. Awareness is necessary. correct news agencies, there's this secret that they tell you when you do writing.
When you do
My
write,
editor said to me, if it bleeds, it leads. Meaning people always want to read about or watch the stuff that is the most hard to fathom,
the most shot.
the crimes, the ABUSE, Red Rum, REPE. It's the truth about journalism and it's the truth about the media because
It's the truth about humans. It's human nature. I mean, it's
you can do 37,000 happy stories and no one will watch. I just want people, I'm glad your perpetrator was found guilty. It's amazing that that happens.
she didn't look like.
Less than 1% of perpetrators will ever be convicted. It's wild. Less than 1% of people that do these types of crimes will ever spend a day in jail. And then when they are in jail, it's like their sentences aren't even long enough. It's just awful. Gabriel, thank you for working in this field. I know Missouri statute of limitations is horrible.
Missouri.
And you know what sucks is like if you tell the story and you just share the fact that there are looser laws in certain states which make it easier for religious organizations to get around regulations and governmental interference. If you point that out, the people that are in those states that are religious get mad at you for saying that like Indiana, Missouri, and Utah are highly underregulated in those areas. And it's why these kinds of organizations end up there because they know they can get away with things because there's less governmental oversight and they allow more. So while religious freedom is a good thing, it's also if you give too much, there's going to be bad actors. So I think part of that overall dialogue that you have to have is you can't allow these types of institutions to exist.
I think she was just saying you can't allow organized religion to exist. Now, I mean, everyone's going to have an opinion on that, on organized religion. I get that, but I mean, to say that you can't allow it to exist, like, I mean, it's part of our First Amendment. So, I don't know. I do agree, though, that churches really shouldn't be tax exempt, and that goes for all churches. Oh shit! Sorry. Oh god damn it! Sorry. Okay. My iPad tipped over. I remember where I left off though about.
Always has been another way to feel like I can give back. So we'll just continue to find ways to help people as much as we can. And then also help my family.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad you're perpetrating. The people that are in those states that are religious get mad at you.
There we go.
I know. Statute of limitations don't make any sense to me.
There we go. I think.
The people that created the limits are men, sadly. You don't have to be like, I don't think you should ever feel bad, Jen, that your person perp got justice. Like we should applaud that while also stating that we need more of those convictions and we need longer sentences. And I don't believe that anyone that does this ever does this one time. I believe it perpetuates itself because they know they can get away with it. And if you can do it and not get in trouble, you'll continue to do it. Because people that do that aren't doing it for pleasure, they're doing it for power. I get justice in knowing that I can publicly say his name, that I can talk about it openly, that I can help other people, that I can spread awareness about the various forms of people of ABUSC out there, that I can also make you guys laugh with silly content as well. And
That's how she
that
did
I've
justice.
been able to be entrusted with this platform to continue to spread things, and also know that sometimes
There, I've been entrusted with this platform. No one handed you this platform and said, "We trust you with this." No, it's not. You constructed it out of nothing, which is impressive. Don't get me wrong, but no one sat there and said, who can we give this to? I know. Let's entrust this with Katie Joy. No, that didn't happen. Stop.
I make mistakes, and sometimes I don't say things correctly, and sometimes I piss people off, and it's just like I'll never be able to win everyone, but I always know that the crowd that is watching me, that is disagreeing, is smaller than those that are supporting and continuing to allow this platform to grow. I know, Don, we do need a nationwide registry. There is a nationwide registry, but not all states report the same, which is really disconcerting.
Not all states report the same to CODIS. Is that what you're saying?
I think my husband's making tacos. Are the tacos ready? I'm hungry. Hi, Sunny.
Sound good.
Hi, Shouty. I hope you're just feeling better. Oh, it's like 5:30. You're with steak waiting? Oh, you skipped dinner. Dawn needs to eat dinner. I haven't decided if I'm going to do anything on my other channel today. Like,
okay, so that's about it there.
I haven't decided. It's my night to do my son's for bed. So if I do it live on my other channel, it will be.
All right, so there's that. We're going to skim through a little bit of the fourth video here. It's only like a little over a half hour long. This one was on Instagram, I think.
Hi, guys. It's Tuesday night. I can't remember the last time I was even on this channel. I'm having a hard time navigating having multiple channels. Sorry for my stuff.
I can't watch. It's going to make me
very
nervous.
impromptu, feeling very
Okay.
Yeah.
Bouncy.
Anyways, it's Tuesday night, and I don't know how everyone's doing. It was cold here in Minnesota, and I'm already bundled up and wanting to buy some new fall clothes. And I was supposed to work out today, and I never did. And we have all kinds of loose ends we need to tie up for school that starts on Friday. So, yeah. I hope everyone is having a good afternoon, good evening, good morning. It's been a very weird day. Washington is on fire.
Oh, forest fires.
It's cold here. It was only in the 50s. And I'm at that point, I'm like at that part of the year where I'm tired of wearing short sleeves, to be honest. I just want to wear sweaters now. This happens every September. I just get bored with summer clothes and I just want to wear sweatshirts and pants. And I don't want to wear like t-shirts anymore. And I just want to be like comfy cozy. So that's how I've been today. Wow, I just finished watching The Vow. Have you guys watched that? I just finished watching the new episode, and it was about this. Sarah got branded, and her husband like freaked out, and she's leaving the secret society with NXIVM, and it's this. Oh yes. Is anyone else watching The Vow and being like, how did these people fall for this? This is how I've been feeling. Like listening to Keith Raniere talk, he sounds like such a doofus. It amazes me how people they can just put a bunch of words together and then it's like they're just master manipulators and they can convince people of anything. And I'm watching this and I'm like, how do people
Teach me how. Teach me how to do it better than I do it already.
believe him? How are people attracted to this person? And I don't mean physically. I mean like emotionally. Like, what is it about this guy that drew people in? Because I don't see anything appealing about him. I find his affect fake. I find his practices and what he talks about to be like, it reminds me of when people say a lot of really big words, but it means nothing. That's what I feel like every time they start explaining what's in this learning. And I feel like he just pretends like he's really smart, but he's not really smart.
Wait,
I don't even remember what my title is right now, to be honest. Did I say I'm having the feels? I can't remember.
did she give you? Did she let loose a spoiler alert there? I was just reading the chat here, Teresa. Way to ruin the episode for everyone. Shaking my head. Well, yeah, no, okay, all right. I took this as you were meaning like now, and I'm like, this was like 4 years ago. I think it's been out, but yeah, back then though, yeah, it would have ruined it for everyone. You're right. You're absolutely right. But she's just reporting, y'all.
I know, L. Ron Hubbard, like, who in their right mind was like, I'm going to start following this guy that writes science fiction novels. And then he doesn't tell people what they're believing. And then they don't find out what they actually believe until they spend thousands of dollars. And then they learn that they're like transported aliens from some kind of like faraway country and they're Thetans. And they have all these little weird things in them. And they have to like reconnect all of the dots. It's like mind boggling to me. I mean, I'm sure this is why people can get sucked into these religions, but The Vow is a show on it's on HBO, and it's a 6-part series about NXIVM, which was the organization based out of Albany, New York, run by Keith Raniere, and Laura something or other, and her daughter Lauren and Nancy. Yes, it is a cult. It was like a self-help cult. And he actually was sentenced to life in prison. Well, no, he hasn't even been sentenced right now. He's been convicted of a ton of stuff, like a ton of stuff. And it had Allison Mack she's from some show. I can't remember what show she was on. Something about Superman. There was a show about Superman, but it wasn't about Superman. It was like, I can't remember. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that there's a whole lot in this one.
I remember like getting super sucked into this. No, it wasn't Supergirl. What was the show called? It was named after the town. Yeah, I don't remember what it was called. She was like Lois Lane's friend or something. I don't even know. It was like Superman as a teenager or something like that. Smallville. Yes, there you go. Smallville. Thank you, Bunny. So I didn't watch that show, but it's NXIVM is the antithesis of, or it's the exact identity of like these cults I was telling you about with the multi-level marketing stuff. It's like all they do is recruit and they keep selling stuff. And it's like people are never satisfied. They never learn enough. They just have to recruit people over and over. And oh, thank you, Trish, for becoming a member. They have to constantly recruit people over and over and over again. And Allison, that show wasn't on in was Smallville on in the 90s? I don't think it was on in the 90s. She's not that old. She's like 30 something. Was it on in the 90s? I don't even know when Smallville was on. I thought it was on in the 2000s. Because NXIVM she was on Smallville when she started with NXIVM. And that was like in the mid, like 2014 maybe, 2012. I don't even know. Anyways, Allison Mack. She is a messy mess. The Vow is a documentary. Anyways, so I just finished watching that. And I was thinking about how the Kardashians show is finally ending. And I was thinking about the video I did about Janelle Eason. And I was thinking about all these
Can I turn them on?
These stories I used to cover that just seemed so unreal. And today was just one of those days. Like I felt like with my first video, I was like very flat. Like And that video is performing really well. I'm actually shocked. Maybe not, because Anna called out Michelle Duggar, basically. But this morning it was very like flat. Yesterday was like a very heightened day of anxiety for me, knowing I was going to make that video. And then, yeah, I felt like I was overwhelmed this morning, almost to a point of, I don't know, it was weird. Like, oh my God, low moan. I know Michelle's low moan is so bad. Anyways, yeah. So I know I totally forgot. What was I talking about? Oh, I was thinking about something though, about how over the last several years, I have been drawn to specific types of stories, and a lot of them do revolve around SA. And I think it's because I don't have justice in my case, and I'm so frustrated by that. And I just find myself wanting to help other people have justice. And like inadvertently along the way, that has amounted to me gaining all these, through storytelling, through work, through, learning and meeting other people and hearing their stories. You just realize like
I'm gonna skip that a little bit.
saved from it. But man, last week it just like hit me in the face. And it's been weird. It's been amazing because on one hand, like I'm getting all these people that feel super like empowered, and they're happy and they're so grateful for me speaking out and sharing my story. But then there's always that backlash you get where people just don't believe you, and they think that you have some sort of agenda for sharing it, and then they want to analyze your story and decide what part of your story sounds fake to them. And it's
See, no one's going to sit there and analyze the story and be like, this part doesn't sound right, real. This part sounds fake. It's either they believe you or they don't, I mean, and that's what matters. It doesn't matter if in the course of you telling your story or whatever, like the first 5 minutes of your story, they don't believe that. That's the part that they're going to overanalyze and not believe. But the rest of it, they believe. And no one's going to get hung up on that. You know what I mean? It's they either believe your claim or they don't.
I'm always amazed that there's some, they always say there's 3 sides to every story, like yours, mine, and the truth, or whatever. But sometimes one person's perspective is literally the truth. You know what I mean? Like someone can obviously be lying. And like sometimes there is no 3 sides of the story. Sometimes just one of the people is telling the truth. And it's like, people dissecting things, saying that, I'm doing this because of this agenda or that agenda, or I'm making it up because I stole the story from Netflix, or I'm just doing this now because I'm getting backlash for something else. And it's like, if it was that calculated, and if I was just doing it for those reasons, I wouldn't be feeling like this, because I have been so disconnected the last 2 days, in another world, almost living in a different time. Like I'm very aware that it's 2020. I'm not mentally ill. It's more like I was so back in that place that it's like I was just there and it just happened. And
if I don't know, but when she tells a story and the streams before this, she seems giddy. I mean, I'm not saying that she's happy, but she doesn't give the appearance of someone who's stuck back in that time. She gives the appearance of someone who's wanting to do that, to tell this, whose desire it is to tell the story for an audience. That's the impression. That's the opinion you get.
It felt so raw and so real, and reliving it by telling the story reminded me of how hard it is to tell the story because of the emotional toll it takes on you. And you start to relive all of those frustrations that you felt.
It took such an emotional toll on you that you had to do like 4 live streams about this and untold like dozens of posts or tweets or whatever because of the emotional toll. Because it's like work to do that, to do all that. That's fucking work.
All of the years where you said, I just don't want to talk to the police because they don't believe me. Like, why didn't you follow up with the police? Why didn't you do this? Katie, why didn't you do that? You could have done more. You could have done this. And then it's, you know, oh, well, you have an agenda because now you're putting out his business's names and you're putting out his names. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, why does he have a right to privacy when he committed a crime? And just because he's not convicted doesn't mean he didn't commit a crime. Just because they didn't want to press charges against him because the prosecutors don't like cases that are not slam dunk, which is disgusting. It's like you don't understand. Like, you'll never understand. Like, people that don't know this area don't understand the clout that that family's name has. They don't understand that I literally can't even say his name without everyone in my community knowing who it is. So
The thing is, though, is that he doesn't have a right to privacy. He doesn't. But in order for him to be publicly outed as having done this, he has to be investigated and accused of having done this by those in charge and entrusted to do that investigation. You don't get to deem that solely on you. I mean, you can sure come out and say your opinion or whatever, but to act like everyone needs to believe you and that there needs to be some sort of conviction or whatever to occur because you simply just said so. And I hate to, oh my God, I fucking hate to, I really hate to be like this. I hate to doubt any woman, even Katie Jordan. And I hate to speak on behalf of potential perpetrators or whatever like this. Yeah, I really do but that's the problem though when someone tells a bullshit story is the ripple effect of all the harm it does for all future stories and how it now these things have to be considered and extra care has to be taken and shit because someone exploited the fucking system, for their own selfish, spiteful desire, basically. I mean, why else would someone lie about this shit, So it pisses me off. It really does.
if I am telling a story, you have to remember I have a lot of people from high school and from my world that follow me. So it's almost like it's impossible for me to talk about it because I have hundreds of people who know me in real life that know who he is because we all went to school together and they know who the family is and they know what this family is about and they know what he's like and they know that I'm not lying and they know what his character was like.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get how connected this person is and how much he's used that to his advantage. It's like you can't separate him from the family. It's impossible because he has used the family constantly to get out of everything. So the family knows what he's doing. Like, I know there's other people he's done this to. I'm confident of that.
Really?
I just think so many people won't speak up because of that fear of his family. Like, I think his parents know who he is very well. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was in, like, if I remember, they tossed him into treatment rehab for a while. He got kicked out of school a couple times. But like, they're like, well, you're a terrible person for calling out the company's names. And I'm like, not really. That's not how it works. Like, The reason why he has a job is because of his family. The whole family, they all work together. All of them. None of them are not connected. They all are somehow involved in it. So, you know,
That part right there, though, I have a question.
yeah.
Like for her to say that, like the family, they're all involved, they're all connected. You know, they all had a part in it, and it sounds like she's trying to criminalize like the whole family or whatever. So I'm kind of curious, what did the whole family do to her? Because I don't think that this is just her being pissed off at him or something. It's the way that she came for the whole family. It sounds like the family did something to piss her off. Like they may not even realize it or whatever. I'm sure it wasn't intended, maybe, or whatever. But something I think happened for her to get pissed off at the whole family, and I wonder what that was.
I think this specific family has had a lot of people in the family that have done a lot of crap, to be honest. One of my friends,
Yeah,
his
exactly.
family
What if he has a
knows
job
the
because
family and has for 60 years. She has a lot of stories.
maybe they didn't hire her for all.
I just think they've cleaned up a lot of his messes.
See, I almost wonder if maybe either in high school or something, probably in high school or whatever, maybe she kind of wanted to, I don't know, had a thing for him or something for whatever reason. And she was just kind of, what's that movie? 16 Candles. Yeah, that was 16 Candles, right? No, Pretty in Pink. I'm sorry, it's Pretty in Pink, where the girl, you know, from the poor side of town or whatever, you know, she gets all embarrassed and shit. I don't want you to see where I live. You know what I mean? But you know, the rich guy and shit. But I feel like she kind of was in that situation, but at the end, the rich guy didn't choose her. Maybe. I don't know.
And if what bothers me, I think, with everything is that people are more worried about me saying anything than they are that there's a man out there that's done this to people, that's walking free, that's doing this to other people. That every single day that he has his job, he could continually be doing this to other people.
Right. So, okay.
There could
so
be.
If he didn't have a job, then he couldn't do this. Is that what was okay? But I mean, if it was that simple, then yeah, can't take away this job. But I don't think it's why. Why does she have against his job? I mean, first of all, she said when I first heard her talk about him, she said that he owned a limo company. Not that his family did or whatever, but this man, her person she's accusing owned a limo company. And she seems to have some issue with this limo company. Like, I'm sorry, I don't really know of a lot of funerals who employ limos. I mean, maybe in your major cities or something they do, but like where I live, like you see a bunch of Cadillacs. That's what you see. You don't see limos really for a funeral. So she keeps like almost saying, oh, that's what. Well, when you have a funeral home, what do you need? You need limos. Limos are for the funeral homes, you know, like, so they're hooking him up with this job or whatever. And it's just, and then she talks about it as though this is how he's getting his victims because he's driving them around in limos so he can drug people and do this. Like, she really wants to take away his fucking limo. I don't know.
So many people that he's done this to and have no idea because of what he's giving them. The amazing thing in all of this is that there was several people that sent me messages and emails and they said I was given roofies, and the way that you described how you felt that day is exactly how I felt. So it sucks. Yeah. And then I just literally added a donate button to one of my posts on Facebook. I said if people wanted to donate, they could, because all of my stuff is monetized. So I can do fundraisers. And it wasn't like I was doing an official fundraiser. It was more like, if you want to donate, here's how you can donate. And then it's like, people are mad that no money's been raised. I'm like, it's not a fundraiser. It's literally like, here, if you want to donate, you can donate. Yeah. Oh my God. The memory part is the craziest, because you'll have like some recollection of certain moments and then it all goes black. It's like it kicked in and there was periods where I remembered a few things and then it was like I was gone after that. Once that happened, once I was gone, the only other time I came to was, like I said, when he was on top of me and I realized where I was and I was like very confused, and then I didn't want to be doing it anymore, and then I don't remember anything else. And then I woke up the next day, it was like 10 in the morning. But I was in and out of sleep. And I would like wake up and
There we go.
text someone and say, I think this happened. I am donating some of the super chat money. So, YouTube, just so everyone understands, we don't get
I got the pinwheel. Okay. Okay. Off topic here. Do you guys like have someone in your life who just is very anxious about everything, who just can't relax and just say, you know what, sometimes in life you just gotta say what the fuck, you know what I mean? Who just can't say what the fuck, you know, and to the point where they're texting you at 2:30 in the morning saying, did you take the clothes out of the dryer or the washing machine? I'm saying, did you take the clothes out of the washing machine? You know what I mean? I don't get it. I don't get how people just can't say fuck it. I don't get it. I mean, perhaps I probably get the fuck it's a little too more often than I should or whatever, but that may be the case. But I can't imagine being up at 2:30 in the morning texting about clothes in the washing machine. Is it just me? Might have heard that. Stupid pinwheel. Here we go. It's going to buffer for a second because I'm loading another web page.
I don't even remember what I was talking about because I read that comment and now I can't remember what I was saying.
Holy shit, why are you still loading? It shouldn't be taking this long. It's not that big of a deal.
I'm not responding to that.
Okay, yeah, you can stop loading. I don't care about the rest of it. I don't even think this is my computer. I think it's the internet. That one stopped. There we go.
I don't even remember what I was talking about.
I don't either because the buffering kept interrupting it.
Oh, YouTube. So we're like a month behind. So I will get paid by YouTube in like 11 days for August. So
Am I still on? Yeah, I'm still online. I don't want to be doing it. Okay. All right. I'll go back.
I won't know how much money that video raised and I won't be paid for that actual what I was talking about.
Stop it. Why do you suck? I hate my computer. All right, I'm going to refresh it. It pissed me off. 2411 or something it said. I think. It'll take just a second. Then I'll kick right in. Why is it mute?
What I was talking about, because I read that comment and now I can't remember what I was saying.
Do I need to go back further? I think I might have to. All right, I'm just gonna check chat here now. I looked at the chat.
Time I came to was, like I said, when he was on top of me, and I realized where I was, and I was like very confused, and then I didn't want to be doing it anymore, and then I don't remember anything.
I forgot about that. You're right. We started at 22. Okay.
And there was periods where I remembered a few things, and then it was like I was gone after that. Once that happened, once I was gone, the only other time I came to was, like I said, when he was on top of me, and I realized where I was, and I was like very confused, and then I didn't want to be doing it anymore, and then I don't remember anything else.
Yeah, that implies that there was a moment where you did want to be doing it because you didn't want to do it anymore. That may be the truth. That may be actually how she felt and how things maybe even transpired. You know, there may be some truth in her claims here. You know, but yeah, there's some maybe. Huh. Back up here.
And
thank you for pointing that out. I forgot about that.
Justify what I monetize and what I don't monetize. YouTube is a platform where everything is monetizable, and it's odd to me that
Mm-hmm.
I get it's whatever. Then there was like questions about how I demonetized the video and then I uploaded the video and now it's monetized. So there's this weird thing on YouTube. You can put a video out and it can get restricted. And so when something gets restricted, you get a yellow tab on your screen, which says that it's going to give you limited ads, which means that the video isn't going to make very much money. They don't put high price ads on those because most advertisers don't want to work with that content. Once you get that yellow icon, you can kiss your ad revenue goodbye.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't fault her at all for monetizing any of this shit. And, you know, under the argument that everything is truthful. I don't fault her one bit for monetizing. I don't give a shit. Absolutely. It does seem kind of weird though that she's so up on this. She's going to go into this like minutes long conversation about it. Like, why?
You'll make next to nothing. But sometimes you can.
I want to just show something here. So just out of curiosity, because I never really looked up the effects of these drugs or whatever. And I'm not doubting her any of her claims on the effects, because bottom line is every drug affects everyone differently. So I don't think that this is something that can really be successfully argued anyways. But I did learn an interesting little tidbit here. First, I'm going to show how I search this. Okay. What are the effects of groupies? I put in there. And I put here under tools here, I used a custom range Dateline. Okay. So I only want to pull up articles that existed on the web from April 15th, 2007 to May 1st, 2007. I just picked whatever days. So 2 articles came up. And in one of these articles, I just want to point this out. Right here. In recent news, it has been discovered that scientists can now detect whatever the drug and related compounds in urine at least up to 5 days after administration of a single dose, and up to a month in hair. So that was 2007. Sure, it's being reported as scientists. So maybe this isn't, these tests aren't like at your average run-of-the-mill hospital all throughout the country or whatever. But I'm willing to bet, though, that they had some sort of test or whatever that could at least detect it for more than like fucking 6 hours, right? Because I mean, it has 6 hours to all the way up to a week. You know, I mean, I'm sure that there's some middle ground there covered quite well, even. So yeah, this one thing that always bothered me was she said that she says that the nurse said to her so definitively, "We'll never find it. It won't be there. It'll be long gone." That's what he definitely used, and it won't be in your system anymore. He's going to get away with it. It's the perfect crime. It's the perfect drug, whatever. That's always bothered me, always, because it's bullshit.
Appeal it. You can appeal it all the time. Yeah, so you can appeal it, and you can have it placed under review. So I appealed it. It was 100% restricted, but then this morning when I woke up, it was lifted and it was green. So they did a manual review of the video and they lifted it and it was green. So it was suitable for advertising. But by the time they lifted it, I had 20,000 views or something like that. So for 20,000 views, I'll make nothing on those 20,000 views. And so it'll only be on what comes up next. And that
She sounds like so upset about that too. Like for those 20,000 views, people bear witness to my story without me getting paid for it. Like that's, I mean, don't get me wrong, she should get paid. I don't care. I'm not judging her. Make all the freaking money you can. I get it. I support it. But it's a little weird to be sitting back now whining about it on something like this. It was 20 views, nothing. Just you guys bearing witness to, thank you for that, but I don't get any money. Like that's what it sounds like.
that's the part where having the limited can, yeah, you make most of your money in not the first couple hours. That's not true. You make your most views in the first few hours, but you make your most money in the first.
Yes, she did for now. Yep.
Technically, unless.
See, that's what another thing that always kind of struck me is that because when she told the story and the first, especially in the first couple of live streams there, she told a story about how she contacted Rain, and Rain told her to do all this. Rain was a lifesaver. Oh my gosh, you never would have gone through this without Rain. And her best friend and her mom, they told her, you have to call Rain. Her best friend said, do not take a shower. Don't take a shower. Like when she called her friend in the morning, she said, okay, here's what you do. You don't take a shower. But no one sat there and thought to say, don't wash your sheets. Rain didn't say, don't fucking launder your sheets. Why? And she says her story, that her reasoning for doing so that she gave the reporting officer, was that there was like a little drop of blood, possibly from a blister on her foot at the bottom of the sheet. I don't know. It just seems kind of convenient at some things. Like the dog ate the condom. And she washed her sheets. I don't know. Like, Who washes the sheets but doesn't take a shower? Like, if you're gonna do one of the two things, I feel like you're gonna take the shower. No one's gonna really think about the sheets, really, you know. And maybe you'll want them off your bed and new sheets on. Okay, fine, but I don't know. It just seems like you're fine with not taking a shower after that, but you can't stand or stomach any drop of blood, possibly from your foot blister on your sheet. I don't know.
You get a video that performs well and it's just constant. Like I have a video about Jana Duggar that has over 500,000 views now.
Yeah,
And it's
absolutely.
every
You gotta
day
put that,
there's
sure.
just more and more that
Um,
comes out from that video, you know, like
So Lulu B says, I do fault her for monetizing the video. She's lying and smearing this guy and his family. Yeah, okay, yeah. You're right. You got a point there. But like assuming that she were saying were in fact was actually what happened and she was being truthful, I would have no problem with her monetizing the video. But yeah, when you put it like that, I guess you're right. You're right.
it generates hundreds of views an hour. So some videos, if they're popular, they just continually are generating revenue. They don't retroactive advertise because you can't backdate somebody to rewatch the thing to have the ads play. So
Holy shit.
can I explain why you can't backdate ad revenue? If there wasn't ads on a video you watched yesterday, they can't place ads on a video that you watched yesterday. You would have to rewatch it, if that makes sense.
I never knew that. Okay, so
No.
Again, reading this page here. Now, mind you, some information may be more up to date now today, or may have changed. It's just this is the information that was there in 2007. But I didn't know this though. So they're saying though about GHB. They are somewhat saltish in taste, but are indiscernible when dissolved in beverages, yada yada. And then it says most recreational users of GHB would disagree with the above. Then they would say, in fact, GHB is in fact quite salty. When mixed in a drink, it ruins the drink, like dumping bicarb in a drink. And then psychoactive doses of GHB are in the range of 1 to 3 grams. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's okay. So like 3 grams, like that's an 8 ball. Okay, like I think an 8 ball is like 3.14 or some shit like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, can you imagine like dumping an 8 ball of Coke in your drink and someone's drink and just be like, there, yeah, no, nothing. I didn't do anything in your drink. You'll never tell. Like there's a lot. A large part compared with most other sedative drugs. I don't know. Yeah, probably. Which can be active in amounts measured in milligrams. This makes detection. Okay. So the psychoactive dose of GHB is in the range of 1 to 3 grams, a large amount compared with most other sedative drugs, which can be active in amounts measured in milligrams. So other sedative drugs you can get the same effect in milligrams, but with GHB, you need 1 to 3 grams. So this makes detection of a drink tainted with GHB more likely. Yeah. I think ketamine would be less likely to really tell. GHB. I never knew all that about GHB though. That's weird. Huh?
No, you can't get the AdSense back because there wasn't any AdSense to be made.
3.5?
When they don't place any ads, you make no money. I remember there was like this Amber Portwood video. One of the videos I did with
I don't know. Did Nene go over the police report? I know Nene went over the FOIA request that she obtained. And that was an awesome video too. You guys should check it out. I don't know if she went over this, did she? I know that like so like I posted some screenshots back when I did the live stream with Little Red, and I don't know if I posted them in the subreddit or someone else did, but whatever, they were posted in the subreddit. So like I know that people have done streams like going over that information and shit like that. I didn't post all the information in there, but really I haven't my stream the other night, I even had pretty much everything that I obtained in the report has been shown now. The only thing I withheld was like the pictures taken of her home or whatever. I didn't think who the fuck cares. But yeah. So I don't know. So I don't know if she went over the whole police report because to my knowledge, the reports she got were for the FOIA requests she submitted were for 911 calls to their home there where they live now. So they would not have covered this police report. So I don't know. I might have given it. Did I don't know if she, I don't think she ever asked me for it though. I mean, whatever. If she had, I would have sent it to her. Holy shit, Jill. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. I'm relieved to hear though that they were able to ID and arrest the person within so quickly. That's about the best, I guess, outcome from something like that, really. But still, I'm sorry.
For the audio. And everyone was saying I made so much money on that. One of the videos was demonetized the whole time. I think I made like $30. You know what I mean? Like, and that, I think one of those videos had over 400,000 views. So, it's pretty wild. It's incredible. I wish I understood the whole world of YouTube and how they decide what's worth advertising and what's not. So, yes.
All right, so that's about the end of that one. That's really about it.
Have you guys ever heard of something called trauma?
No.
PORN?
Yep.
It has gotten more restrictive. It has. I was like on Facebook and I saw somebody post an article about trauma PORN and I don't know what that is and I want to read about it now. So I might have to do that when I get off here. Like, I don't know, like from the context I understand it, it's like people creating like fake trauma online to get like clicks, likes, and views. And then people get.
Why would you end the stream where you are talking about how you've been talking about your story and complaining about how some people are not believing you and accusing you of having an agenda? Why would you then end the stream saying this? It's like telling on yourself. You know, it's like
It connected to it because the person that's putting it out knows that what they're talking about is so outrageous it's going to make people have a visceral reaction to it, to the point where it's going to make people so emotionally invested that it'll defy logic and defy like any sort of rational explanation or response. Yeah. Then the story gets ramped up and up and up. And then like they continue to add layers to the story, and every single time it just becomes more and more outrageous. Like it started out with something that sounded very realistic, and then it's like every time things kind of settle down, something new happens that will escalate and rile people up to the point of a reaction. It's I want to read the article now.
how does she not?
But apparently there's this, people do this on the internet and I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was in a group.
Like, how do you not realize that? Okay, so like if people are listening to this, in my opinion, and are not at all thinking or even considering anything, something like called tragedy, whatever, it could not be further from their mind. You know what I mean? Her saying this is going to put it in their mind. She's making the connections, or she's making the pathway for people to make the connections themselves very easily. You know, they don't have to look for a map or whatever. She's drawing the map out saying, go here, you know, and they will. They will. Some people will go there and be like, wait a minute, you know. So how do you, if you want to successfully tell a lie, why do you sabotage it like that? In my opinion.
So some of the moms that have like munchie, they're like harming their kids. Um, they like will make up stories, and then like the emergencies always keep going. Like, oh, my son almost stopped breathing, or oh, this or that. Like they just keep creating more and more. Like
Going from like the stat of like one out of 150,000 to one of like 7 billion. Do you mean that kind of like exaggeration and build up?
now I have to go to the hospital. Now he's, oh my gosh, now I think his abdominal is bursting, and oh, now he stopped breathing, and now he needs, and you don't ever not want to believe someone, because the fact that you wouldn't believe someone is so outrageous to the claim. Like, why wouldn't you believe someone that's going through that? Yeah. It's wild. There was a lot of parents that did that in Facebook groups I was in. That's why I left most of the parenting pages.
So she's saying that there are a lot of parents in these parenting pages or groups or whatever on Facebook that did these things, that were these tellers of tragedy, you know, whatever she called it. And that's why she left. Well, I think that may be true. I mean, I do think that those groups are more susceptible to having, you know, people like that, because that's their ideal like target, you know, their audience, whatever. So I get that. I do. But I think that those telling the bullshit stories might also be more susceptible to picking up on other people's bullshit stories. And I think that might have been a problem.
Oh,
I'm not saying that she's harming her kid. I'm not saying that. Not at all. Don't get me wrong. I honestly do not believe she is. I've never believed that she is. And I see nothing to even suspect or to insinuate that she is. I'm not saying that. I do think, though, that she exaggerates her stories, her recollection of events to her audience. That I do wholeheartedly believe, in my opinion. But that's it.
Get the kitten. Charlie.
You poor cat.
Charlie. Yeah, he's one of the twins. Oh, he's going back underneath. The dogs are down here. All right, my husband just got downstairs, so I'm going to go talk to him. But you guys, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Yeah, that was Charlie. Look, I see him again.
Yeah, poor cat.
I see someone.
We see you, Charlie. We see you.
I see their little heads. Good night, everyone.
Did you guys remember that the live stream she did? She picked up her cat. She was trying to hug and kiss the cat or something. And the cat just like fucking like bit at her and swatted at her. She's like, "Oh, stop it! He's a biter!" Like, yo, man, what are you doing? Like, fucking let the cat go. That's funny. I remember that. All right, let me see here. I text Max Fax Thunderclap. Yeah, there could have been some neglect, sure. I mean, yeah, and her correct her on that number. Yeah. It's like what my son, it's not that rare, it's not like super like my son's like super rare. It's like 1 in 7 billion. He's like, I so if you're gonna say it, get the stat right or what? No, it's more like 1 in 150,000 or something like that. And she's like, no, it's not. And he's like, if you're gonna say the stat, just get it right. She's like, well, I mean for all of his conditions, everything. My son cries when he hears Katie's praise. It's funny, like my friend Jen, she could not be less of an internet person really than anyone. I mean, she knows how to use it and everything. It's not like that. She used to be on social media and shit. She's just like over it. She don't care. So like there's all this shit with Katie Joy. Like in the beginning, she was just like roll her eyes or whatever. But now she wants to talk about it. It's like, oh my gosh. Like if I play like if I have a streamer of hers playing in the background or whatever, like whatever it is Jen's doing, she will stop what she's doing like every few seconds, be like, what the fuck did she just say? And when it comes to this shit too, it's like she kind of knows what she's talking about because it's with the profession and the education and whatever she has. So when she heard, what was it? I think it was I played for her because I think it was the video of the video I did where the one with the huge trigger warning I have on it. It's under my PSA playlist where she's just talking about all the disgusting things about people doing to kids and whatever, like the macabre and I don't know, the deviant shit that she's talked about. That one or the one where she's talking about the police officer. I forget, but Jen's listening to that and she's just like, oh, that right there, she's lying. There's no fucking way someone would go there. It's funny. It's just funny though to see someone who just had absolutely no care or concern whatsoever. No, what the fuck did she just say? Makes me feel a little less crazy, right? It's true. He cries. It makes me turn it off. So I want to know what happened to WACB. No new videos. No, I don't. I'm not even sure who was behind that channel. I believe it was one or both of the admins for this subreddit, but I'm not sure. That's just my own opinion on it. I have nothing really to base that off of, just my opinion. But I have no idea. I mean, like, there's a lot of people who were around and very active and shit in this community. Like when I first came around, like in 2020, and like you don't really see around that much anymore. Like people whose screen names or whatever, I forget about until they pop up again. It's like holy shit. I think with COVID over and shit, well, not over, but for the most part over, people just kind of got back into life maybe and moved on and whatever. I mean, I know I did it because I'm not online nearly as much as I used to be. I'm not creating content as much as I used to be. I'm not doing anything online really anymore like I was, but yeah, no, they were very good at what they did. And dude, that takes time. Like one video, I think it was the video where there was one of my very first videos. I think it was this is what Katie Joy subscribers can expect or something like that, where I got I just did a long video montage of all the times Katie was just like lashing out at people on live streams or whatever, and like I was in no hurry to get it done either, and I would just started like kind of following the shit or whatever, so I didn't really see any of her live streams. So Like it took me like I only spent like maybe an hour or so a day here and there, mostly hour and a half maybe, like when I was at work or whatever, because where I worked, I could listen to headphones. So I put them in, do my work. And whenever I heard a clip or I heard something I could use, I'd stop what I was doing, go over and just screen record like the 10-15 second clip or whatever. It took me like 3 to 4 months to do that video. It takes time because no one's going to sit there and listen to stream after stream. You can't concentrate like that. You can't. No one can. So it has to be broken up. So it takes time and it takes work and it takes effort. Little Red's still around. Yes, we were talking about her the other night in stream. She popped up in I think it was in my comment section. I was like, oh my God, so good, good to see you. And I went over and I checked out her channel because I don't know, for some reason she hasn't come up in my recommended, but she's still been doing stuff over there. Not as much as she used to, but I mean, she's still around. She's here. So tell you, I miss Annie's posts on Twitter. I miss her. Her posts, I mean, you couldn't dispute them because she covered all bases and she just laid it all out for you. And it's like, oh yeah, and just, I don't know. And she's someone whose opinion too, like I've learned quickly to kind of trust. So I miss seeing her around though. You haven't directly watched anything from her? I won't either, really. I don't know. Like her live streams or whatever. No, I really don't. I don't even watch any of her shit live. I'll catch it from Llama Girl or one of my admins will capture a lot for me now, for at least for like the past year. Anyways, that's where I've been getting them from. But yeah, videos. I don't know. I don't really care about the content she puts in videos, so that's why I don't watch her videos. I miss Charlotte on the web. Well, she's still on the web. She's just not on the YouTube web. She's over on Rumble. So seriously, if you miss it, like she goes live at every day, like around the same time, like 5, I think, usually, over on Rumble. So I mean, you don't have to miss her. So I don't know. I check her out. I probably don't check her out as much as I should, but definitely I'd say once a week or so I'm over there listening to her. Her content is boring. Oh, you mean Katie? I think. Yeah, Katie. Okay. It is. It really is. I feel like if it wasn't for her putting the sensationalism on the shit that she talks about, no one would care. Like it's not even like people are watching her so much because of the sister wives. It's like they're watching her because of what she says about the sister, what she concocts about the sister wives. It's not even like, that's just my opinion because I never got into sister wives. What am I on over here? Oh. All right, close that up. What do I got here? Oh, what? I'm going to mute for a second. All right, I'm going to unmute. I'm going to listen to it here real quick. I connected now? Yeah. Okay. Well, that's weird. Oh, okay, there it is. Right? Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. I just want to listen to it real quick. It might have been important, but I can finish it later. All right. I think I'm gonna wrap this up. I've been live streaming a lot longer than I planned on tonight, but I'm glad I did. So now I'm wrapped up with this whole recollection of this event for now, anyways, for a good long while, probably. There's the only other discussion really she's had that, to my knowledge, is on the live stream she did after the Toddy Westbrook lawsuit was dismissed over jurisdiction. She spoke about it a little bit more there, and like she made some ridiculous claims about me. I don't know, maybe we can go over that. I don't know. Because it's only like a minute or two. But there's a couple of things though that she says in there that I do kind of want, I think is important to point out as bullshit. And why did I hit the mail thing instead? Sorry. All right. What's in there? I drive. And right here. So annoying. It's not even running slowly. This is like normal speed. But it'll start eventually. Yeah, go check out chat here for a minute. Yeah, I agree, Jamesy.
Of my son having a meltdown, which happens with autistic
So-
children.
The stream was on 3/16/2021 is the date I have for it. Yeah, this is where she was updating everyone about how the court case was dismissed. Yeah.
And they said that my him because we never hit him. You know, like I'm not going to agree to doing something that I didn't do. And my son was like, and there's being ableist and 12 different opinions just means you have a lot of opinions. But everything now is great. My husband's just very agitated right now. I just put the mic on mute just for a second.
You can't have the brown ones, but you can have that one.
I'm no longer answering questions about my son. So we're going to move on and you can continue to ask me questions. Please do not ask me any more questions about my son.
All right, maybe
We have been married for 10 years.
I won't cover it because I don't remember where it is here.
Is he trying to get in or get out?
Yes, he wants to come in.
Oh.
They're like circular, they're big, but they taste like Skittles. It's because I have a lot of blackheads on my nose. Those have been game changers. Like I can finally get those out of my nose.
Gross.
Masks, which were really good. Lately I've just been doing like clay masks to get my pores clean.
That's just dripping with iron.
Yeah, like you don't get to talk about what we're doing because it's about you, but all of their content is about me. So I guess that was like the irony was so thick in all of that. And I also noticed that in so much of the content that was made about me it was obviously profitable. And so there was a reason why it was being made, but then also like nothing I could say mattered.
You're the news that laid the golden egg.
Yeah. Like you can't say anything. This isn't about you, but you're all fighting. And the reason why you're fighting is about me. So it's just not about me. She got
Okay, yeah,
my
there we
rape
go.
records. She's obtained all this stuff about me. And
So,
ooh. There's this one channel. I don't know what she goes by, EK something. Her name is Erin Costello. And she has been like stalking me for years. And I can't believe people even watch her. But she called my husband's friends. She got my rape records. She's obtained all this stuff about me. And then she gets on me for covering stuff. It's just very hypocritical. She's the one that got mad that I was like talking about what was going on in the anti-Katie community, making it about me. Because I'm telling these people not to interact with some of these people. And they're like, you're making it all about yourself.
I don't remember any of that.
I mean, and then they'll be like, you're doing that just like they do to the Duggars. And I'm like, I don't think it's the same. Like, I'm not in a cult. Like, I'm not on a reality show. But whatever.
Cult is.
I feel like the anti-Katie community is more of a cult than I am. Is that a thing?
But did,
I've heard that the haters are really bad. Like, they're really mean to people. Not just me.
Self-loathing.
I just can't. So whoever went to get them, they
Okay.
told me because I filed a complaint and they said, no, people came into the station to get these records. So whoever went to get them, they told me
So she's
because I filed a
talking about-
complaint and they said, no. Police officer at the department said that people, at least 2 people, had to go to the police station to get the records. They would not give them over the phone and they would not mail them. So whoever went to get them, they told me because I filed a complaint and they said, no, people came into the station to get these records.
see, that's funny because like you can file a FOIA request with the police department to, find out who has requested this report, which is what I did. And what I came back with was 3 people were given this report. One was me. One is believed to be her attorney. And then a third part who did in fact go to the police station to obtain it because that person lives there. And that person is also a party in the case. So it's funny that she's somehow confusing that with being me. Like, yeah, sure. Okay. I flew to Minnesota and during COVID to obtain this report. Like, they send out reports all the time electronically. Why wouldn't hers be sent out electronically? This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. She said, no, the officer assured me it wouldn't be sent through email or whatever. Why? Why do you think that there would be something? It's crazy. Which that's not what was said here.
That's like next level.
And they accuse me of doing stalker stuff, and I'm like, I've never walked into somebody's like police station to get a rape investigation, a case that was never prosecuted.
No, instead you paid your viewers to walk into courthouses to obtain medical records of a minor alleged abuse victim. That's what you did. They included medical records and court records, but yeah, medical records. That's what you did. Mm-hmm.
You're the horrible one.
They also didn't believe that we got death threats, and so she took it upon herself to email and call my husband's friend to verify. Someone who's not a public figure, by the way, who's just a business owner.
Why are you talking about him on a live stream, making him a fucking public figure? And I didn't call to verify anything. I didn't call. I sent one email, and I didn't ask them, is it true that this happened? I asked, can you tell me why it is you don't deem this to be something reportable? I mean, that's insane. If this were my associate about his wife, I would be on the phone. I'd be reporting the shit like so fast. Like, why is this not? Why are you not reporting this? Like, because at the time I thought, she's everyone should have their report. Even Katie Choi. Like, why is no one fucking caring about reporting this shit on her behalf? That's crazy. That I had to be the one to ask that. Okay, and I also didn't tell anyone that I sent the email. It wasn't content or anything for me. The only reason why it came out is because she outed it, and it was one email. So yeah, and the only reason why I knew who to send the email to was because of her. She put all the information out there, basically,
to find out if I did something, just to prove me wrong.
Wait, what?
And they were like, they messaged us and they were like, who is this? Like, I've never walked into somebody's like police station to get a rape investigation, a case that was never prosecuted.
What does that have to do with it? If it wasn't prosecuted or not?
You're the horrible one.
They also didn't believe that we got death threats, and so she took it upon herself to email and call my husband's friend to verify. Someone who's not a public figure, by the way, who's just a business owner, to find out if I did something, just to prove me wrong. And they were like,
I never got that before. She called this business owner just to see if I did something, and then she stopped herself to prove me wrong. I never said anything of the sort. I never said, was it Katie who put you up to this? Was it Katie who actually did this? I didn't say anything. I didn't even express any doubt in this, let alone make any accusations. But she hears I sent an email or whatever, and she jumps right into, oh no, Erin did it for this reason, for this reason. It's almost like she's trying to come up with a cover should her shit get exposed. You know, when Kathy P called the brewery.
They messaged us and they were like, who is this woman and why is she emailing us about you? This is weird.
Well, I mean, if they were receiving death threat calls about you, then it would make sense that they were getting an email. You know, they at least wouldn't have to ask, right? They would be able to say, okay, yeah, and along with the death threats, we get this email. It would be like, why is this chick emailing us about you? Like, you know what I mean?
Like she was literally reaching out to my husband's friends and being like, "Oh, is this true?" It was really weird.
Like, nothing of the sort. Nothing of this. I really didn't. Like, why would she? Why is she lying like that? Why is she saying? She literally said, "Is this true?" The only reason why, in my opinion, she would say that, she would make this claim over and over and over again, is because she's trying to discredit anything I might discover or have learned by making it seem like I did it for another reason, some unhinged reason or whatever, as opposed to just genuine concern.
And then my husband was like, "This is weird. Why are you contacting us?"
Did they not know that she live streamed about them? That she said their name, that they owned both her husband's record label and this brewery? Did they not know this? And that she then said, no, they're not reporting it. And then she said, well, they blocked a number, or no, then the caller blocked the number, so we don't have a number. Like, it was one lie after another. In my opinion, it was. But honestly, I thought at the time, just like with the whole police report there, who would lie about this shit? You know? So you believe it.
I know I was surprised that there wasn't a law protecting me. So the police officer's
Yes.
justification for releasing it was that they redacted the information.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, "Well, we redacted you as the victim."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Does it matter that they then took this and identified me as the victim?"
No.
And they said, "We cannot control what somebody does after the fact."
And see, she's talking about this. She had, by this time, she took down all of these streams that I've been playing. All of these posts I've been reading, everything. She had all of that taken down. So it's like that shit never happened. So it sounds like and looks like to newcomers that I'm just some crazy unhinged person who got wind. She said this, went to the police department, got this report, went their person too, mind you, according to her, got this police report, and then told everyone, read all the salacious details or whatever of the fucking police report. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it sounds now at this time. However, I mean, she outed herself and she told every aspect of this story. In fact, my obtaining the police report, if you think about it, it substantiated her claim that she made her police report and said what she said in the report, because that much was true. She did make those claims in her report. I was able to confirm that when I got through. But I would have had to know what she said beforehand. So I'm not sure how I outed anything there. She named the person she's accusing, but yeah, somehow I outed her as a victim. Okay.
And I said, "Well, they identified the redacted as me." And I was like, that's what was violating to me. It was like I was the victim and they identified it. And then they teased it apart. And then they are the people that will say that we should believe victims. They were the same ones that were critical of me when I was doing the Sophie story. So that's the hypocrisy in all of it. Like, they were so critical of me. "Oh, you called that little girl a brat." But then me as a rape victim, they took my rape investigation and they decided to dissect it and prove that I was lying about the cops.
Well, Sophie wasn't going around social media laughing and smiling and seeming almost giddy when she told these stories, and then making up some pretty outrageous claims about a detective who's essentially a victim's advocate, really. So yeah, if and when Sophie should do that, then we'll talk.
It was really disturbing. I never identified myself in that police report. I didn't have the police report. So this is an extremely disturbing comment.
Think about this. She's saying she didn't identify herself in that police report. She just identified her story in that police report, basically, by telling her story. And then her story being found in the police report. She put it out there. I didn't identify. This is the most disturbing comment.
What is me telling you about a rape identify you in an investigation? And why would you take it upon yourself to then go get the investigation and get the court record or get the police report? How does that?
Well, you took it upon yourself to publicly blame the detective, the law enforcement official, the victim advocate, and you named the person you accused and everything and their family's business to the point where they had to send you a cease and desist. I guess I just followed your lead on taking certain liberties, maybe. I don't know.
Benefit anyone, but re-victimizing the person that is the victim.
I didn't make you tell your story.
It's not the same as me telling you I've been raped than someone going and getting the police records and saying this is exactly what happened in the rape investigation.
Did you catch that? Why is there a cat meowing?
It's not the same as me telling you I've been raped than someone going and getting the police records and saying this is exactly what happened in the rape investigation.
She doesn't say this is exactly what happened in the report. She says investigation. Like she didn't want anyone to know what transpired throughout the investigation. And I will be right back. I have to go take care of this cat real quick. Okay, sorry. Not my cat, but our neighbor's cat. It's a long story. Anyway, there's one part here though I want to get to.
And then they'll say, well, you did that to the Duggars. No, I never went and got the rape, like the investigation with Josh Duggar. Never. That was In Touch that did that. Well, this is what they want. They want my attention. They want me to give them a platform. That's why they do that. I guess. Whatever. That was one of the most disturbing things that's been done to me. I don't care if people talk about me. People always say that I care, but I really don't. I cared that my rape investigation was leaked because I had never seen the police report. That was very triggering for me. And I was hyperventilating, crying, like on the floor, panicking, like, flashbacking to the assault as I'm seeing this happen. And
I literally shared nothing more than what she herself shared, like word for word, verbatim almost, just a couple of months prior. So it's
and they're dissecting it.
Mhm.
Their justification, no, I have zero apologies for this person. No, I will never apologize to that person because I didn't search out anything. They literally posted their face.
Katie, yesterday you released personal information about an anonymous person on Twitter whose info you search for in Facebook. Would you consider apologizing? Surely you empathize with invasion of
Facebook account and did not properly redact it. I didn't search it out. They put it out on their Twitter. And I'm not apologizing to someone who has been harassing and stalking and threatening me
and being extremely like making me have panic attacks. Why would I apologize to someone who has been
She's justified, y'all. She can do it. She's the reporter. You know, it's her job to humiliate and dox people and, you know, out them or whatever and share their personal info or whatever. But when someone does it to her after the ridiculous claims and all the information that she puts out there herself into the world, if you then talk about it, well, fuck you. Oh shit, I hit the wrong thing. Well, you know, I'm just gonna skip to it. Doesn't matter. Whatever. In this video though, she says that she was told by the police department that had her assault happened today or that day in 2021, it would have been handled much differently. That her kit would have for sure been tested, and that her case probably would have gone to trial or whatever. None of that's true. Though there have been some changes or whatever in Minnesota from 2007 to 2021, the only changes that would have affected her or her case is that back in 2007, the police were a big part of the decision of whether or not a case might end up in trial, whereas now it's more or less the DA's office. And it was also suggested that perhaps her kit would be tested today, but that's only because like it's mandatory that they test all kits. Like the reason why hers wasn't in 2007 is because yet there was a backlog. So it's like they had limited resources and everything. So they had to reserve those for instances where it wasn't already agreed upon by both parties that intercourse did in fact happen with the two parties. You know, I mean, it was already agreed upon that there would be DNA found and it would be those two's DNAs. That's why it wasn't tested, because they didn't have the resources to then, and it was already agreed upon pretty much. So, but that's it. In fact, her case was re-examined, I guess, maybe, I don't know, or re-looked at or whatever, and they came to the same conclusion. So that's it. So she goes on in that video, though, to state how it's because of her that these new laws went into effect, where her case would not have been handled that way, and it had nothing to do with her. So I know, well. Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm wrapping this up. I'm tired. I'm wicked tired now. So thanks for being here. I'm sorry it's a late stream. I'm sorry it's a long stream. I have to work tomorrow night, so I won't be streaming tomorrow night. But I don't know. Maybe tomorrow during the day. But it'll be like mid-afternoon if I do. So all right, everyone. Thanks for being here. Bye. Have a good night. Bye.